Hi viewers, welcome to my channel. So we have been talking about virology from the last 2-3 lectures, and in the previous lecture we spoke about the different types of structural details in a virus. So after knowing the properties of virus, the early developments in virology, we have already finished with the structural details or the morphological features of a virus. Now, before we talk about how do we grow the viruses and how can we purify them or even count them or enumerate them, we need to know what are the different modes of replication in a virus. So viruses don't follow just one mode. There are some who can follow different types of replication cycles. There are certain viruses which can follow only one type of replication. So we will look into what are the different modes of replication seen in a virus, what are the different steps in these replicative cycles, and how the viruses are bringing about each of these steps. So firstly, what you need to know is that viruses can follow either the lytic cycle of replication or the lysogenic cycle of replication. Now, a virus which follows the lytic cycle of replication is also called as a virulent virus, because here the virus goes inside its host cell, multiplies or replicates over there, and then comes out. So, in this cycle, the virus does not stay inside. The virus has no business inside the host. It is just going in, multiplying, and then coming out. Whereas in the lysogenic cycle, the virus has an option. The virus has the option of going inside the host, staying inside the host for as long as it wishes to, and then coming out. So those viruses which follow such kind of a lysogenic cycle where they get integrated with the host genome and stay inside the host, such viruses are called as the temperate viruses. So we have virulent viruses as well as temperate viruses, which means to say those that can follow only the lytic cycle, or those which have a choice whether they want to stay integrated inside or they want to follow the lytic cycle and come outside. So before we talk about what are those steps and what is the small difference between the two types of cycle, let us look into broadly what are the different steps involved in replication. So these steps that are involved in a basic lytic cycle are what are shown over here. In lysogeny, there is a small modification that occurs, which I'll be touching upon later. So in a lytic cycle, the first step is always the adsorption, attachment and adsorption, followed by penetration, which basically means entry into the cell. Then it is the replication or the biosynthesis stage, followed by assembly, maturation, and release. So these are the different steps involved in replication in a lytic cycle. Let us look into each one of these in detail. So as you can see over here, in the lytic cycle, we have the first step, which is attachment. Now in attachment, the virus is going to get attached onto the surface of the host, or the virus comes and binds to the surface of the host. It recognizes a receptor on the host cell, and once it recognizes that receptor, some particle on the surface of the viral cell will come and bind to the host cell. Now what I have shown you here is of the T4 bacteriophage. So that is why you can see in the slide that it is mentioned as phage or it is mentioned as bacterial cell. But lytic cycle is similar for all the viruses, wherein the first step is where the virus is going to come and recognize a receptor on the host and bind to that receptor. Initially, the binding is always a reversible kind of binding, hence we call it as attachment. And then there is a covalent bond formation that takes place between the viral ligand or the viral surface and the host receptor. That irreversible binding is called as adsorption. So the first step is always attachment and adsorption to a particular host cell. This is followed by entry inside the host. Now, different viruses have different mechanisms of entry. Some of them inject their DNA into the host. Some others, they get engulfed into the host and then inside they'll go and get uncoated. Some other viruses are going to leave their capsid outside and only the genome enters inside. Some of them are enveloped viruses, like I had told you last time. So these viruses are going to leave their envelope outside and the nucleocapsid comes inside. So the mechanism of entry or penetration is different. What is shown here is for T4 bacteriophage, which injects its genome into the host cell. The video for that will be, you can go to that later, or you can check out that later. Now, the second step, like I said, is the penetration, which varies from one virus to the other. Basically, it means the virus has entered into the host cell, or at least the genome of the virus has entered into the host cell. This is followed by the third step, that is the biosynthesis or the replication, the actual replication part. Here, multiple copies of the viral components are synthesized. Now, unlike a bacterial or an animal or even a plant cell, A viral cell does not replicate by budding or fission. No, none of those mechanisms. A viral cell replicates like a machinery. I have 10 parts in me. I need to replicate each of those 10 parts, make multiple hundreds of copies of each of those 10 parts, and then they'll be put together. So that is why the third step is biosynthesis or the replication, wherein all the different parts of the viral virion or the viral component are synthesized. Multiple copies of genome, multiple copies of capsid protein, multiple copies of peplomers, of the glycoprotein spikes. Any component that is there in the virus is synthesized in multiples. That is biosynthesis. This is followed by the assembly and maturation. Now, assembly and maturation can be actually considered as one step, wherein these individual viral components are now assembled together. They are put together, like how you put up a car or how you make a machine. Different companies synthesize each part of that machinery, and then one company is going to put it all together and sell that final product. Same way, the same way you put up a computer, exactly the same way. One company is going to synthesize the chip, one company is going to synthesize the outer body, another company is having the software. All of that is put together and sold by a retailer. Exactly in the same way, viral components are now put together. So the enzymes, the proteins, the genome, all of it is going to be put together. It is going to be assembled, and the virus is going to get completely or fully developed, which we call as assembly and maturation step. We then have the lysis or the release step. Now, the release is the last part of the lytic cycle. As you can see over here, release is the last step. Now, in case of release, the virus is going to come out of the host cell. This again varies in mechanism. Some of them are extremely peace loving and they come out without disturbing the host cell. Some of them are highly destructive in nature. They break open the host cell and come out. So the release process is different. This diagram is with respect to the T4 bacteriophage, which is going to lyse its host cell. So hence release has been changed, or the term lysis has been put. But it's not always the case. Some of the viruses don't lyse their host cell. They bud out of the host cell. So the mechanism of penetration and release differs from one virus to other, but the general steps are the same. Now I'll just show you another type of lytic cycle which is seen in animal viruses. Now here the animal virus is an enveloped virus. So the virus is getting engulfed. As you can see over here, the virus, though the first step is common, that is attachment and adsorption. As you can see over here, the entire virus, this is in case of influenza virus, the entire virus is getting engulfed or phagocytosed inside the cell. So the entire thing is going to get enveloped, the entire nucleocapsid. Because the entire nucleocapsid has come in. If you remember, nucleocapsid is nucleic acid plus the capsid. Because both of them have come in and there's no work for the capsid inside, it has to be destroyed. It has to be removed. That step, that additional step is called as uncoating. Uncoating is the removal of the coat. What coat are we talking about? The capsid coat. So the virus, when it is engulfed fully, has another step in between, which is called as the uncoating. In uncoating, the capsid is being discarded or degraded, and the genome then goes about its work of biosynthesis, assembly, and finally release. So as you can see over here, though both are lytic cycles, the mechanisms of release and the mechanisms of penetration are slightly different. I'll also show you the lysogenic cycle. So here what happens is the attachment and adsorption is same. Then the viral genome gets inside, but the viral genome, after getting inside, instead of forming the viral components, or instead of getting into the biosynthesis step, instead of that, it undergoes a step called as integration. In integration, the viral genome gets integrated, it gets combined, it gets fused with the host genome. So here what is happening is that the viral genome, which is shown in blue, is getting integrated with the host genome, which is in pink. Now, whenever the host cell divides, in every progeny cell, the viral DNA will also be passed. So, if the cell has divided 100 times, I'll have 100 daughter cells carrying the viral genome. When the time is right, basically when the conditions are not very favorable, or when the when the host cell is undergoing through some stress or unfavorable conditions, under such a condition, the viral genome will now come out of the host genome. This process where the viral genome is coming out of the host genome is called as induction. So here this step is called as integration, and this step where it is coming out is called as induction. The stage where it is present as an integrated part of the host genome is called as a provirus stage. So if we are talking about a phage, it is called as a prophage stage. If it's an animal virus, it's a provirus stage where the host genome is now integrated with the viral genome. Now, as you can see here, the viral genome has come out, got induced out of the host genome. It will undergo rest of the lytic cycle, which means to say the biosynthesis, the assembly and maturation, and finally the release. So lysogenic cycle is basically a cycle where the organism, where the virus gets to decide whether it wants to go inside, multiply and come out, or it wants to go inside, stay inside, after a while multiply and come out. That is the only choice that a temperate virus is going to get. So these are the two different types of viral cycles, lytic and lysogenic. As you can see, some viruses follow only the lytic cycle, some others follow the lysogenic cycle. Whatever it is, between the lytic and lysogenic cycle also, there are variations with respect to the mode of entry, with respect to the mode of release, how exactly does it go out. All these vary from one virus to the other. So after a few more video lectures, I will be posting about individual viruses and how exactly they come in and how they are able to go out, or how they are able to take a decision between lytic cycle and lysogenic cycle. I hope this lecture was of use to you all. Thank you. I'll see you all in the next lecture. Bye-bye.